I think the story of Tengbo Yang is important, but to go on with this House of Cards is foolish, and the on a slow news day, and I don't think today is a particularly slow news day. It seems extraordinary that the Sunday Times leads with a story about King Charles meeting the Chinese financier Kenny Song, with a focus on the broader implications for, this sort of voracious appetite for royal intrigue. Imagine the editorial meeting at the Times on such a sluggish news day, the usual suspects, policy wranglings, economic malaise, mid-tier scandals. All of this feels stale, and suddenly someone says, "Oh, what about the king? Did he dine with someone dodgy lately?" Enter Kenny Song, a Belton Road financier with a penchant for dissolving companies and rubbing shoulders with royalty. There's nothing new here. This all happened in Dumfries House, the king's stunning estate and his monument to good taste and bad financial luck. And Kenny Song was a Chinese businessman linked to the Belt and Road Initiative, mingling with ministers and foreign dignitaries at a black tie dinner back in 2018. Allegedly, he was there to discuss a £10 million reinvestment in the Knockroon housing project, Charles's ambitious but ill-fated eco-development. And the deal evaporated, leaving Charles's charity scrambling for funds, while Song departed with a lovely dinner and apparently no intention to invest. He's a financier with a portfolio of dissolving companies and grandiose infrastructure dreams, including a tunnel under the Baltic Sea, modular homes for Knockroon, facilitated by Chinese state-owned enterprises, was his pitch, and the reality was he left no money behind, but he did use photos from the dinner to bolster his business credentials, as almost anybody would. Why does this story matter? Because there's still a question hanging over about royal due diligence, and the King's Foundation insists no donation was ever offered, even if questions remain about how such a figure gained access to Charles. And his ties with Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative, dubbed a tool for debt trap diplomacy, highlights the global risks of cozying up to some of the more shadowy individuals in the Chinese system. But from cash to shopping bags, from Qatari royals to shadowy financiers, the King's reliance on international donors creates a steady stream of headlines that parallel those of his younger brother. On a slow news day, who met whom becomes the front page splash. And from cash for honours to crown-worthy gaffes, the royal family is fertile ground for intrigue. Every handshake or photo is scrutinised for ulterior motives. Charles dined with Song, but it's Andrew's alleged Chinese spy buddy who grabs the juiciest subplots. But in the end, it's a distraction. And what we should be focusing on is how we can forge a better relationship with China, how we can make the world a safer place, and if there is room for royal diplomacy, how we can engage with that. But the fact that somebody meets somebody else doesn't mean there's anything automatically dodgy about it. Nobody has, despite Prince Andrew's stupidity, nobody has actually said that Yang did anything wrong. Nobody is actually saying that Song has done anything particularly inappropriate. The issue is proximity. Well, proximity is the stuff of royalty. And therein lies the problem. If royalty is going to be squirreled away in Buckingham Palace or Windsor and not meet anybody, then we go back to the 19th century, and we go back to the image of Queen Victoria on the Isle of Wight, secluded from public view, out of harm, out of way, and the budding flowers of republicanism will be given free room to grow.